Pasta. Hey, round two. It appears my first live daily dose. My apologies if you are watching it or you tried watching it and it was sideways. We're gonna do a little retake. Why not? I'm up for always learning, right? You can never be too perfect on things, and I'm sure the heck aren't perfect. But I'll tell you one thing that is perfect. Not these macaroni noodles, these rigatoni noodles by themselves. What is perfect is my wife's mac and cheese. I'm gonna share with you her not so secret recipe for that in just a moment. And I don't know whether or not when you come on, if you come on here live, let me know that you're there, wave to me, say hello. Maybe you have the day off today. Maybe you're getting prepared. My wife's off at the store. She had to go run a few errands. Both my kids are home. One is up and the other, I think, maybe up. I think she's up. I don't know why they're both up. Usually they sleep in. Maybe they're excited about Thanksgiving. We even got our tree up. I'll be sharing with you I'll share with you what we did with our tree, and we put lights on the other day. We're getting in the holiday spirit. It's great. But right now I want to share with you something that's not so much a secret, but oh my goodness, my body is getting excited for, because tomorrow we're going to have my wife's. Now we're going to have lots of good food tomorrow. And my appetite is not nearly like it was, because I just don't eat Thanksgiving food all the time, right? And I would say that's unfortunately what happens with a lot of people, is we tend to eat all of our meals like it was Thanksgiving, even if it isn't turkey and stuffing and mashed potatoes and pie and all those types of things. But I want to jump in now. If you're cooking something delicious, maybe you're in the kitchen right now and you're getting things prepared. It's an exciting time of year, right? When this time of year where there was just a lot of not so exciting moments. Well, they were exciting, but not in a positive way. So I know tomorrow, I think that's why maybe everybody's out. When we went and got our tree, which was actually, we usually we get it on Black Friday or over the weekend after Thanksgiving. We got it this weekend, and the guy said at the store, we just go down to Home Depot and pick it up. We don't go like in the mountains and go pick out our own tree and cut it down. We go to, like a lot of normal people do, is just go to Home Depot or Lowe's and pick it out of the tent. And they said, gosh, we just got our trees in the other day, and so many people already have come and got them. I didn't even talk about this, my first attempt at doing this. And I think because I turned it sideways, I was trying to get cool and turn the camera sideways, and it recorded me sideways. But anyway, let's talk about my wife's, because that's what you're here for. That's why you're chiming in. You want to know, hey, Rebecca, good morning to you. You want to know my wife's not so secret recipe. Now, when our kids were little, one of the things, we wouldn't take them out a lot. We didn't go out to restaurants a lot. But, you know, when you have little kids, you know, they'd want to go through like Chick-fil-A. And even now, my kids still want a Chick-fil-A. But one of the other places we'd go to, just was nearby here, is Panera. And we would go, and I remember they liked their soup. They liked their broccoli cheddar soup. They liked their cream of potato, I think, soup. And then one of the things I really liked when they started making it was their mac and cheese, Panera's mac and cheese. Now, my wife said, oh, well, gosh, it's really good. And you know it's not really good for you as far as on a health side. You wouldn't want to eat it all the time. But she looked it up and found the recipe, and then she made a version of it. And I'll just talk, right? Like, you want, maybe, yes, I'm the coach who talks about eating, you know, right, and being healthy and watching your calories and weight loss and fitness, right? And the reality is, when you have, see, I think the misconception with a lot of people is that you feel, and if you're thinking about dieting, in fact, I almost was going to do a diet video this morning, and I was thinking, people don't, I mean, we already know, like, you're a smart enough person, you know that diets don't work. They don't work. They're too restrictive. And if you start to think like, oh, I got to be restricted, got to diet, it's not fun. It's not going to be easy. You're not going to enjoy it. You're going to maybe say, oh, I can't have pasta, Mark. I can't have any carbs, because that's what my diet tells me. I can't have any carbs. And I'm here to tell you, when you have a good relationship with food, unfortunately, a lot of people don't have good relationships with food. But when you have a good relationship with food, you realize that food can actually work for you. Carbohydrates can actually work for you, provided you're giving them a chance to work for you. Now, of course, in the holidays, we may not be doing a whole lot of work. In fact, you may be off. Like, my wife's off. My kids are off from school. I'm not off, because it's something that, again, I know that this is the time of year of people are doing two things. They're getting nervous because it's the new year and they realize last year they started a resolution and it's all been downhill this past year, and rightfully so. There's lots of extra excuses to not stay on a healthy path. But the reality is, here we are back around in the holiday season when a lot of people tend to put on weight. And I want to share with you, it isn't just, say, Thanksgiving or just Christmas or maybe just one party here or there. It's the percentage of time that you're doing that throughout the year that you get in trouble. And then sometimes that becomes where you take that weight on. And I want to just give you just a little grace, just to say, to forgive yourself, just to be okay. Maybe that you're not in the best place, but also to not allow this to ruin a holiday season. Like, we want to enjoy ourselves. There's a lot of things right now that maybe you and I feel, I know for a fact I feel, that I just can't enjoy. And it's something that can be discouraging and disappointing, and you can take on those emotions. And what do people do when they typically take on those emotions? They draw to the things that make them feel better, and it's food. And unfortunately, it's more than just on Thanksgiving and, say, a Christmas celebration, right? So back to the Panera mac and cheese, my wife's not so secret mac and cheese recipe. We have this, we have a big bag. Now this is just for one, so just one of these big bags, these shells. I like the rigatoni. What I love about them is you can put the cheese, you can fit all the mac and cheese, macaroni or rigatoni and cheese noodles. You can get the cheese all inside of those. I don't like the flat ones or the bow ties. I like when the cheese gets stuck inside. So my wife always makes that, which is great. You got to have some butter, like real old fashioned, like the good stuff, butter, not the fake butter, not all the manufacturer stuff. We're talking about like real butter, right? Some flour, right? Good old fashioned flour, some milk or cream. You can look up the recipe. I may post the recipe down on there. You can go look it up on Panera. On Panera, they probably have it. Just look up Panera mac and cheese. American cheese, cheddar cheese, Dijon mustard, salt, and a little bit of hot sauce, believe it or not. A little bit. You don't really taste, it's not really spicy, but there's a little, like almost a peppery taste to it, and it's really, really good. And then you get all the directions, but you can find that recipe. But why am I sharing that with you? It's something that, again, it'll bring joy. Like this season that we have right now, you can choose each day to come up and you can actually fill yourself with joy, and it doesn't have to be around food. You can fill yourself up with gratitude, and it doesn't have to be grateful that you had another slice of pie, right? The fact that we have food, chances are if you're watching this from maybe $1,000 iPhone that you have, or even an Android if you're one of those people, is that you probably have a lot more blessings than a lot of people out there. And regarding it being, whether it's mac and cheese, maybe it's something else. Maybe it's a certain pie, maybe it's a certain way you have turkey. Maybe even giving back and actually being thankful that you're able to help provide for other families, just as we have done in the past and continue to do to this day. It's something to be grateful for, to just also give yourself a little grace when it comes to beating yourself up over the holidays. Now, does this mean it gives you like a free get out of jail or free calorie free card, like a get out of jail free card? No, because obviously what you put into your body, if it's not being used properly, in other words, if your body's energy is not using the food that's there, guess what? Guess what happens? Regardless of how many calories, it stays on your body. It's stored, kind of like what you see the squirrels doing in our backyard here. They're running and getting all the bird seed, and then they're hiding them, right? They're storing them up. That's what happens to body fat. That's what happens when you start to see the weight go up, because you're not utilizing the energy that you're taking in. Now, the squirrels don't see that, but they utilize the seeds and whatever they gather, like a lot of animals do. They gather and they hide them for the winter. Again, that winter coat, right, if you will, like you see of the bear. Bears store up and eat all food, and then they go hibernate. I don't want you to hibernate, but I also want you to realize that it's okay in the holiday season. It's okay. Hey, Janice, good day to you as well. And so the mac and cheese recipe, again, it represents more. Mac and cheese is one food, right? A good glass of red wine is just a good glass of red wine. You know, having a piece of pie is just a piece of pie. It's not going to define you. Even if you have a little bit more than, let's just say that you know your body's able to hang on, like that's able to digest and use for energy, chances are you may be stuffed later tomorrow. That's okay. Again, it's not the one day. It's when you start to just beat yourself over the head and saying that I did it again, I overindulged. Your relationship, the relationship you have with food is really, really important. And I want you to enjoy yourself. Go make some mac and cheese. Go enjoy some fried turkey. Go indulge a little bit in extra wine. Do that. It's not going to make or break who you are, because at the end of the day, in the eyes of God, you're much more valuable than any delicious mac and cheese. You're much more worthy than any kind of turkey or pumpkin pie that's going to be on your plate tomorrow. You're just so you know, you are not only valuable, you're fearfully and wonderfully made. And you're not, I would say, is this one of the things this word has been resonating with me, and it's the word bulletproof. And I would say the hard thing is we find that we have to be so perfect at so many things. And you may be perfect in your business. You might have a perfect relationship with your spouse. You may have the perfect children, if you will. But the reality is none of us are perfect. And I would say is sometimes we work so hard, we make things so complicated, when we can simply just take it one day at a time. And if you're a man or woman of faith, you can trust God that He's going to move you forward and is going to give you the direction that you need to walk in, action steps that you need to walk in order for you to be the best that you can be. Now, I want you to go into this holiday season. Tomorrow I have a special message on Thanksgiving, so make sure you show up. Yes, 8 a.m. Thanksgiving. I am not. I have 230 episodes later every single day. I've been putting in some effort into this show. Now, you may have only watched one or two. You can go back and watch other episodes. You can go find me on YouTube and scroll through, and you can binge on those versus maybe redoing another Netflix. Although we just started watching Cheers again for, I don't know, the umpteenth time, and it's just old and classic. And I'm old and classic that as well. But enjoy yourself in the holidays. Have an amazing day. Forgive yourself maybe for the mistakes that you've made in the past. Forgive others, be thankful, have gratitude, and truly just one day at a time. If you just take one day at a time and you just make progress and you try to improve on your habits and improve on yourself one day at a time, you're going to win. You're going to succeed, not just over the holiday season, but all year round, every year. Take care. God bless. Talk soon.